come once again to discuss things.
Cut doesn't exist. You can't make a cut for a cut that doesn't exist. Anyway, hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. We are continuing holiday month. We are also continuing fan film reviews, and we as Rasco Jackson and me, your jolly host, Sid Part 2. Because jolly is the most apt adjective with which to describe me.
What up, peeps?
Here's the challenge. Rasco, what are we reviewing today?
Lobo, Paramilitary, something, rabbit.
We're reviewing the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special from 2002, making this officially the oldest fan film we talked about. The previous oldest fan film we talked about was The Death of Batman from 2003, so...
Yeah.
This proves that fan films have not entirely gotten better with age across the board. This is a good fan film from back in the early 2000s. So, yeah, this is kind of an interesting thing, just given, like, how old it is, and the fact that, like, I'm pretty sure a good quality copy of it does not exist because of the age on the internet at which it came out. Like, I'm sure that they filmed this in, like, good quality. Because, like, you look at the lighting and the costume, there's so much detail. It's like, This is a really well-shot fan film, but the quality is garbage. So I think what it is, like, there existed a good quality copy of this at one point, and then it just got shared on the internet so many times and retouched by people who had no idea what the hell they were doing with Windows Movie Maker. And then, like, those are the only surviving versions?
It's like the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, so, like, it's a really well-done fan film. It's just, like, really, really poor quality on YouTube, so that's all you got.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. So, Rasco, how much you know about Lobo?
I don't know jack shit about Lobo.
I love that about you, Rasco. Okay, so Lobo's kind of a proto-Deadpool in a lot of ways. Like, he kind of got popular in the same way that Deadpool did a while before Deadpool, like, did the same thing. And Deadpool exists at the same time, like, concurrently with Lobo, but Lobo just took off faster for one reason or another, and then didn't stick around as much of a big deal. But, like, he's got kind of the thing where he's, like, a bit of a fourth wall breaker, not to the extent that Deadpool is. He's a mercenary in the DC universe. He's got, like, a very particular, like, cool guy attitude about him, and he's mostly played up for, you know, kind of some dark humor, and some just cool action. And so this is, like, in a lot of ways, the perfect fan film for him. In my opinion. I don't know. What do you think about it, since you don't know anything about Lobo?
Well, the first scene, I was like, okay, I'm not being pulled in yet. What's it gonna do? How's it gonna get me? How's it gonna hook me? How's it gonna grab me by the balls and pull me in? And then it did. When we
With
introduced, when we got to the overall premise, the Lobo, you gotta go kill Santa, and then he shows up, and it was a twist. And then the bunny's there. The bunny said he got neutered. I love that. It just got me eventually. I was won over.
Okay, that's cool. I'm surprised you weren't, like, really into it to begin with, because just, you know, production quality-wise, this is really good, especially for the time on a fan film. Like, you
it
know,
was mainly just me. It really wasn't the fan film. I was just not focused, and then I randomly got really focused and enjoyed it.
Okay. No, like, I mean, just, like, when he walks in that bar, I mean, that's Mos Eisley, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's got the look. It's got all the people in costumes and stuff. and they're actually in a bar, and that's just like really cool for a fan film to pull off in 2002.
Yeah, the makeup's really good too.
Yeah, Lobo looks really, really good.
And what I thought was impressive is, like, I don't know actually how strong, like how ripped the actor was, but they had makeup on, like, to define his muscles, like on his arm. So I don't even know if he was actually strong. Like, he looked like he was pretty strong, and they just, like, went in and added, like, some nice, like, detail and contouring, but maybe they didn't. I don't know. But, like, I just don't know. Like, the makeup was, like, really good.
Yeah, I agree. It's he looks imposing, he looks frightening, and that just really functions really, really well.
Yeah, and the voice is really good too. It doesn't sound like somebody trying too hard to be a badass. It sounds like naturally badass.
Yeah, I agree. I think the performance given by the guy playing Lobo here is just spot on. Like, they could. This guy's probably too old for it at this point, but if they made a Lobo movie, you could have got this guy in the mid 2000s. Like, he would have been a good fit for it. Man, they should have made Jason Momoa Lobo though.
Dude, he should have been Lobo. Do you know who said that? Okay, guess what actor said, like, his dream character to play is Lobo?
Ron Perlman?
No, Stephen Amell from Arrow, like Oliver Queen.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
I think it's probably because he's a big fan of wrestling, and Lobo kind of seems like he could be a wrestling character.
Oh yeah, like he's got like that wrestling kind of caricature going for him. Like he'll say it, he'll like introduce himself with all the hype and stuff. All right, so tone wise, this did seem to be much more up your alley than like a lot of Christmassy stuff would otherwise be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't want to see that, like, happy holiday Christmas shit. Like, this is, I enjoyed this for its edge. I thought that the like, I mentioned it earlier, but, like, the part where the Easter Bunny just like, he neutered me! That's so fucked up. Like, what the fuck? Hardcore.
I guess the part that, like, I found really funny about that is, like, Santa's reason for doing it. He's like, it's a delicacy.
I know, yeah, it's so weird.
That was pretty good. Yeah, it's got the right tone. Just Lobo walks in the bar and the Easter Bunny's hanging out with two Playboy bunnies in the back of the bar drinking. That's really funny. That's so up the alley of what Lobo is, and like just the kind of the scummy hole of the DC universe that Lobo occupies. I believe this is an adaptation of a comic book. I haven't read the original issue it's based on, but there is a single issue comic book called Lobo's Paramilitary Christmas Special. So it could be a direct adaptation, or it could be like their own thing with it. I'm not entirely sure on that part, I should mention. But tonally it fits the whole like cool, crazy, dark humor, funny-ish style of Lobo to a T, and it makes a lot of fun to watch. For me, I really like when like there are the three elves left that are like the heads of security, and the one goes, "Come on, we got to go out there and fight him ourselves," and the other elf's like, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
It's so flat out. Like, that's straight out of like action movie kind of moment to me. That is so totally like on point for certain action movies, for like the henchmen to be like, "Fuck that noise, man, I'm out of here."
Yeah, what I liked about the whole like thing with the elves is that like they had it, that felt like really, that made it feel like big, because they had like a like I don't know, like that all felt really legitimate. Like when we were inside the hallway, as that one elf's running to that one room, and then he goes in, and then like they have like a whole set and everything, and it was just like it felt like you were actually in a location, and it didn't feel like it wasn't obviously another location being used as like a base for Santa. It was like
the most brilliant thing about it is it probably was, right?
Yeah, it probably was, but it doesn't feel that way at all. Yeah,
it's really, really great. It's a great testament to what you can do with framing, lighting, and really, really basic set design. Because all it is it's a computer screen, it's some red lights, to make it, dark and just hard to tell what exactly is going on.
Yeah, because like if you know what's going to be in your shot, then you don't need to have a whole room that looks like whatever room you like. If you have like a computer room with a bunch of computers, if you know what's going to be in the frame when you're watching it, then you just have to have enough for literally the shot that you need. So like they understand that here very well, clearly. And other fan films we've seen do that pretty well. I think the Punisher fan film that we talked about last episode did that as well. Anyway.
No, I agree. I think there's a fairly good use of those just really... Like, you can tell this is made by filmmakers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it is.
Like, this is obviously a passion project that some, filmmakers that probably aren't working or were between projects at the time decided to take on for the fun of it. And they were able to do, like, they maybe had access to a set, like a studio lot kind of thing. Yeah. And they just, a lot of it, they're able to get away with. Like, Santa's lair or whatever, all you really see is the cherry sitting in, a bunch of presents, and the cage he's got the Easter Bunny in. You don't see anything else of it besides the doorway. You do, like, the big light, bright white effect on the door when the mangled, God, just dripping with blood elf walks in. Like, that all looks like really, really good. That's really effective set design, which isn't something that, people give enough credit to things for. So that's really good for utilizing the budget in a really smart way.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about? You take us somewhere.
Talk about the rabbit.
Okay.
Or the Easter Bunny. I think that the prosthetics and like all of the costume for him was really good. Mm-hmm. Like, it was clearly like a guy in a costume, but it was like a professionally. It's like how we make guys in costumes look as professional as possible. Like, it's like it looked like how the Grinch Stole Christmas, like, quality. Like,
I wouldn't quite go that far, but I'd agree that it's that level of work. I believe I'd agree that it's like professional level work. It's not like, just kind of thrown together.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like an obvious costume, like, in the way that, like, it doesn't look like a costume bought at a store or something. Like, it looks really good.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I think the look for him is really good. I like that he's like a shorter guy. That's like a good casting choice because he just looks more, rabbit-like, especially when he's like jumping around at the end and stuff. That's really funny. I love how horribly annoying his voice is.
Yeah, he's so punchable because of his voice.
Yeah, that's a really great choice to do because it's just like, you just know the first time you hear him talk that Lobo's going to end up killing him. And of course he does. And it's what he's already won that makes it the best,
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's so funny because like it totally fits. He neutered me. Like, that just, it's this squeaky, whiny voice and he sounds like a damn rabbit.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good too. Santa as well. Like, I don't know if that's a fake beard or not, but that looks like a real beard to me. That looks like they got a guy who actually plays Santa and convinced him to do this really dark shit.
Yeah, he was like a badass Santa, and he was like the proper age too. He wasn't too young or anything. He was like, oh yeah, Santa. Mm-hmm. That's a motherfucking Santa Claus right there.
Yeah, and I like how ruthless he characterizes Saint Nick as too. Like when he gives Lobo the present and then he's gonna shoot him in the back. God, that's great.
Yeah, just and then I like how Lobo was just like, fuck that snow globe. That was awesome.
Yeah. No, but I like the way that Santa's got like this whole devious plan and like he's just a ruthless. I mean, he fucking neutered the Easter Bunny. And just plays it off.
Like that part where you're like, holy shit, like he didn't even wait. Like, he captured him and then neutered him and then ate his balls. And then, like, all before Lobo even got there and knew about it. Like, holy shit, Santa. That's, like, a preemptive strike.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like that. I thought it was really cool the way they lit Santa as well. Again, we already talked about the lighting and the stage design of it, but like just the one overhead light above the chair, it just looked really cool.
Yeah, it was very theatrical.
Mm-hmm. What else can we talk about? How'd you like when he was like tearing his way through the North Pole?
Honestly, I can't even remember what exactly you're talking about in particular.
Like just the footage of him on the security cameras, like taking out all the elves and stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Did you have something specific to say about it? Like,
I don't know. I thought it was really, really funny. Like
yeah.
that whole section had me really cracking up when like you get like it cuts to the one elf and he's just like crying into the security camera.
Yeah.
And then Lobo just like comes up out into frame behind him.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Hardcore. Like, he was really just going at him. Like, I didn't know that was like what I was in for watching this. I wasn't.
It's called his Paramilitary Christmas special. What do you expect this to be?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe it was like, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. No, I just thought that was really, really funny. Okay. I thought we'd get more out of that, but apparently not. Really stretching here. Music.
Oh, was it like really like? Wasn't it like very Christmassy sounding music?
No, not really.
I guess because I just didn't notice the music.
Okay, well, like, I don't know, it like opened with like a Christmassy sound, and then like it cuts to Lobo, and it immediately goes for like kind of like a slow, like hard rock metalish kind of sound, and and you had Rob Zombie in the club briefly.
Wait, what? Oh, like Rob Zombie music or actual Rob Zombie?
Rob Zombie music.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck? Rob Zombie is in this?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. Like, would you have been that surprised if Rob Zombie had been in a?
I would have
Lobo
believed it.
film?
I feel like Rob Zombie would make a Lobo movie someday. Like,
there you go, DCU. Call Rob Zombie. No, but like this, it just looks really good. It's a really fun thing, and I like the music choices. I thought they fit really well. It was like the proper level of intense, and it just captured the mood of the character really well. Since you mentioned the Punisher fan film, I feel like I should readdress a point I made last week, which is if you're making something as a fan film, you should make it definitely so other fans of the character can enjoy it. But you should keep in mind an idea to make it enjoyable for people who don't know the character as well. Even if it is just a fan film, you know, it helps to be able to be more accessible to a general audience. It helps when other people are able to get into it, and that just makes it cool. Because, like, I feel a danger in making a fan film that's, like, only like, really hardcore fans are going to be able to enjoy it. Is that if you have someone who's getting into a fandom and looks for a fan film and finds yours but doesn't like it because it's too much for a hardcore fan and not enough for just like a general fan who doesn't know every single detail about a character, it can really like, you know, sour their experience on it. And I feel like you're a really good example for this with this fan film, Rasco, wherein you didn't know anything about Lobo, but you came out of this kind of liking Lobo a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are different ways to do that, but sometimes it's just like sheer quality is the only thing that can really like get people to like it despite not being invested in it already. Not always. Sometimes, you know, there are other things you can do to make it more accessible to everybody, not just the fans. But in this case, this one's just so well made that you watch it and it's like a complete vision, and you're like, oh, okay, I feel like I got it.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that. I think the production value is a big part of it, but just generally, like, the story it's telling is really accessible. You know, you don't have to know anything about Lobo besides he's a bounty hunter. to understand what's going on in this fan film. And even that's explained contextually in the first scene.
Yeah.
And that just, it really helps. It really sells it. What else can we talk about with this? I like that, like, they clearly didn't have the effects for a lot of, like, big flashy, gunfights and stuff like that. So they do a really good job of implying but not showing. Like, there are no muzzle flashes, but there's a lot of, like, gunshot sounds, but we never really see if the gun barrel is on screen, or if it is, it's on screen for a very short time, so it's believable we wouldn't see the muzzle flash.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like, I feel like oftentimes fan films would be better off going with the technique of just finding clever editing things to get around having to show gunfire on camera, because there's something about just not having any effects that you can't do really well in your fan film, like doing only what you can really make as authentic and like integrated as possible. Sometimes that's just the better option, rather than trying to do something you just can't do and doing it like halfway. If you just decide, well, no, it'll just look better for a longer period of time if we just don't show, for example, like a muzzle flash or something like that, then that can be the smarter thing to do.
Yeah, I'd agree. A lot about, and that obviously doesn't apply to just fan films. That applies to short films and a lot of films in general. A lot of things. I feel like a lot of movies, like these big budget movies, get kind of carried away with their budget, and they don't ever like consider the idea of coming in under budget. Like, what if we just tried it? What if we were just really economical in what we shot and how we shot it, just to try it? Like, filmmaking's not supposed to be easy. You can do things the hard way, and maybe it'll be better for it. You never know. Okay. Well, I don't really want to end another episode this early, but we really don't have a lot to talk about with this one, unfortunately. Just real quick, we talked about the makeups. What do you think of the gore effects on the one elf?
When he like walks in all mangled and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I really like how like hideous it is, and it's such a great comedic beat where you just see this like mangled guy, and he's like, the naughtiest one is here. Like, that's really funny. And then he just like collapses dead. I really like that. That actor did a really good job of selling that. That's another thing. Like, there's no bad actors in this. Like, even the smallest parts, they just totally sell it.
Yeah, that's true. There really were no bad actors. Everybody felt like an actual actor.
And it's probably because they are.
Yeah.
Like, these all really, really excel in really fantastic ways. I guess my final thing to talk about would just be that I'm really disappointed that a higher quality version of this is not easily gettable. It's just like the version Rasco and I watched at one point, it has like VCR syncing happening in it, and it's like, god damn. Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, such like so janky.
Yeah. I just don't understand like why these things don't survive better. Well, I guess I understand why, is because studios have a love-hate relationship with fan films. But still, damn them all to hell.
No, they're like animals that are going extinct. They need to be preserved.
That's what we should probably do. We should probably create the fan film preservation. I should go buy like a 3 terabyte hard drive and just start saving all the fan films we review.
Pokemon fan films.
Yeah. Oh,
gotta
God.
Catch 'em all. Gotta store 'em all. Fan film.
Well, I mean, just by the very nature of them, they're on really shaky legal ground,
Yeah.
Like, we've never reviewed Star Trek Axanar, and Axanar, however the hell you pronounce it, but like, I am not entirely convinced that fan film will be around in a couple of years. Like, I am reasonably sure that guy has gotten himself into enough shit that they're going to have to delete that video. So it'll be interesting to see if that survives or not. But yeah, the very nature of them being, technically copyright infringement, but in a loving way, it's just surprising that they ever managed to stay around. Not to mention how many of them use like popular music, either pop songs, or use just studio soundtracks for these characters. Like, no wonder they like. I'm honestly amazed that more of them don't get taken down. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not that they should be, because fuck copyright law on YouTube, it's bullshit. But just in general, I'm surprised that it doesn't happen more. Okay, fuck it. Let's go ahead and go on to ratings, Rasco. What will you give Lobo, the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special?
I will give it 4.5 out of 5 neutered rabbits.
Okay. Can I ask you what you're taking the half point off for?
No, you can't ask me that. No, Ian. Fuck off. Okay? That's what.
Rasco, please tell the audience what you're taking the half point off for.
I'll answer to the audience, actually. I would just say that, it's not like... It's just like, okay. It's kind of like the same way that I might go see like a good Pixar movie, but it's never going to be on like my top 10 list. It's like, there are probably fan films that aren't as good as this that I've seen that I like more than this, just because of like maybe a character that it's about or the kind of story it's about. Generally speaking, if a story is more comedic, I'm just less interested in something that is a little bit more serious. But that's like an overarching taste issue. So it's just not like, it's a good fan film, but I'm just not gonna give it a 5 because I just feel disingenuous.
No, it's not your thing. That's fair. Okay, yeah, for me, I do have to give this a 5 out of 5. It'd probably be like a 4 out of 5 today, but I've got to take into consideration that it came out in 2002, and that's a big deal.
Yeah. What was it like? Why are there all these really great-looking fan films that are really fucking old, but like... They're like, fan films don't look nearly as good as these really fucking old ones that are like really terribly preserved. Like, why is that? Because like the death of Batman, that is more impressive than literally any other. Or wait, not the death of Batman. What's the Batman one where the alien and predators attack him?
Oh, Batman Dead End.
That is more impressive than any fan film I've ever seen. And like, well, maybe besides the Dragon Ball Z one that we watched that one time, but like.
I would go that far, but it is up there visually. Yeah, I think you might have some nostalgia blinders on for that one. We should talk about that at some point, because you've mentioned that a number of times.
We haven't talked about that?
No, Rasco! You say that like you haven't been here for every episode of Fan Film Reviews.
I know, but I thought we talked about that.
No, I don't think we've ever talked about Dead End. We've talked about City of Scars, though. No, it is just a matter of, like, who's making them, because initially fan films were a really rare thing, either they were really, really super low budget and they were made by, like, kids in their backyard, which still exists, or they were like this, where, like, studio people actually got together and made one for fun. And, that's so rare for something like that to happen. So it was hard to get really good quality ones, and the really good quality ones stuck around. I'm just disappointed again that this didn't stick around in better quality. I would love to see this in, proper HD. That'd be amazing. What I think it was is like you ever hear how South Park got around?
Yeah.
Yeah, like with they initially made the short with Jesus and Santa fighting, and it's like really, really low quality animation. But then it was just going around on like copies of VHS tapes, and eventually Trey Parker and Matt Stone came forward as the guys that made it. And that's how South Park got started. I feel like this probably got around the same way, where it got like copies of DVD or VHS copies of it got passed around a bunch before it got uploaded online in any kind of decent quality. So that's worth talking about. Okay, for my rating, I will give this I gotta go 5 out of 5. Mangled and brutally murdered elves that still carry out their one job to announce to Santa that the naughtiest one has arrived. Okay, Rasco, what are we talking about next time?
Next week, we're going to talk about Batman Gotham Christmas fan film, a film by Quentin Tarantino.
No, it's not a film by Quentin Tarantino. I don't think Quentin Tarantino made a Batman fan film.
Yes, he did. It was his first movie.
Oh my. Okay, sounds good. Alright, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
And I'm Quentin Tarantino.
And we are your geeky gentlemen, and we will be discussing things. So wait, does that make Quentin Tarantino a beta male cunt?
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!